Hello there, doctors. Let me ask you this question. When somebody Googles your name, what do you think they find? Do they see you as a trusted authority in your field or just another name on maybe the hospital website? But in today's world, personal branding for doctor isn't optional. It's the difference between being visible and invisible and becoming the go-to expert that patient, media, and even your colleague look up to. So in this video, Mike and I will show you how to build influence online as a doctor. I'm Dr. Ann Trump.
I'm Dr. Mike Leming, and we help doctors build their brand, grow their income, and escape the clinic hamster wheel. So today, we're going to dive into personal branding for doctors. We're going to cover why it's essential, how to build trust online, and specific strategies to position yourself as the authority in your niche. Hopefully, by the end of this training, you're going to know exactly how to attract patients and opportunities by building your personal brand.
Awesome, because we're going to go over the foundation because we know that patients search for their doctor before they go to the office, right? And if you're not able to be searched, they'll consider are you even exist? Are you even legitimate? So you got to control your narrative. What's on Google? And that unfortunately has to include reviews. All right. And then I'll tell you what I do when I have bad reviews versus good reviews. So when you have a personal brand, it builds trust, authority, and just visibility online and let Google know that you exist. So not only for your patient, but even media, let's say the local TV or even podcaster, even investor to contact you as well. So let's go over the foundation of personal branding. When I was starting out, I didn't really understand what personal branding mean. I had to actually Google that. Of course, we weren't taught that in a med school. So how you start with personal branding and what we've been saying all along, Mike and I have been saying all along, define your niche and define the problem you solve and how you solve that problem. Now that's easier said than done because oftentimes we can articulate what we can do to help people, but oftentimes it's hard for us to articulate the problem, right? The problem is I'm not making enough money. The problem is I have knee pain. The problem is I have erectile dysfunction. The problem is I have night sweat, hot flashes. That's the problem. And then so that's your niche, which is the problem and how you solve that problem and what is your message. So like example, I'm the sexual medicine specialist for men with ED. And Mike is hormone specialist for people that have for women menopause, right? Yeah, like and then you can be the knee pain doctor. So that's kind of like the niche and the message and your website. Make sure you have a website. You don't have nowadays, honestly, you can even have AI build your website in 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be fancy schmancy. I remember in 2002 when I built my website, I paid somebody $10,000 to build my website. And I learned a hard lesson. Now, Mike, I'm not sure you've been like this. When we built it, it was on their proprietary software. And that was in 2002. And then when we decided to go to a WordPress website in 2012, which is 10 years later, they wouldn't allow us to unless we paid them $10,000 to take the information from their proprietary software to put it on WordPress, which now we own. So that was a painful lesson. So, doctor, you're listening to this. If you're going to do a website, do it on WordPress that you own. Do not build your website on somebody else's proprietary software. Have you had that issue yet, Mike?
No, I learned early on because I used to be one of those people who would build websites for you and then charge quite a bit of money. So we've always been trying. We learned early on that it's important to own it. Now it's I don't build my own websites anymore, so I do use services, but I've always focused on I have to own the website because, like you said, if you want to make a change on something, the last thing you want to do is, let's say there's a misspelling or there's something that's wrong, is try to find the programmer who created your website. They're probably long gone, or maybe you're still paying for it, and it does get expensive when it is something that you could do very easily on your own. So yeah, I totally agree. Have a website. If you can use WordPress, that's best. If you're using something else, just make sure that you're in control. If you have to make any changes, you or your team should be able to make those changes.
And you have WordPress. So people, the doctors say, what's WordPress? Think of WordPress like a software, like a software that you can build your website on. That's it. And you can easily change the word, change the pages on there. I myself have gone on my WordPress website and make changes. So that's what we call about owning your own real estate. Own your website, write a blog, your niche and how you solve it, and start a YouTube channel. Right, start a YouTube channel and tell people what you do and how you help them, right? And it should be specialized for your name and your location and your practice. And also you should leverage social media such as LinkedIn, Instagram for connection. I personally like YouTube, but unfortunately YouTube is not user friendly for like connection like Instagram or Facebook. Like if Instagram or Facebook, if somebody follow you, you can DM them information, but you can't DM people on YouTube. But you can certainly open up an Instagram account, set it up, and then from there you can DM your followers as well. Cross pollination between platform is not easy. Like getting somebody to follow you from YouTube to Instagram or from Instagram to YouTube, it's harder because that's based upon user preference, right? I like YouTube. I search all my content and watch stuff on YouTube. I'm rarely on Instagram and I'm only on Facebook to connect with friends. That's it. I don't even know how to use TikTok. Even though we have a business account, TikTok, and we have I think like over 12,000 followers, but I'm rarely even on it. I don't even know how to operate the button on TikTok. How about you, Mike? Are you on TikTok?
I'm not on TikTok. I guess I have an account. Occasionally I scroll on there, but yeah, I still haven't navigated it. For me, you taught me about YouTube and using that as an authority. I do like to scroll on Instagram. Facebook is one that I'm on a lot, quite a bit, and LinkedIn not as much. But if you're focusing on business to business, I think LinkedIn is essential.
Yeah, definitely. Remember, content. Content means the information you put on your social media channel is king. So that's why it's essential to start with the niche. What is the niche? The problem you solve. And what is the solution? All right. And then focus your content that, right? And Mike will be more, he help women in menopause. I help men with ED. And then my solution, you want to share your solution, your tips, and frequently asked questions and testimony. You can certainly film patient and share those testimonies as long as they sign a media waiver that you can use it for media purposes. You don't even have to disclose, say, first name and their age. That's about it. So you wanted to get testimonials to show your expertise and to show what is called social proof. Proof that you are doing great result, you're creating good result with the people that you work with. And doctors, if you're seeing patient in the office and they're coming in raving fans, that is a good time. Take out your phone and ask them 4 questions. What was the problem you came in to see me for? What was your result? What are you happy with it? Would you recommend? That's it. And they can do it in less than a minute, sometimes less than 2 minutes, most optimal. But you can definitely get the testimonial good quality on your phone. All my testimonials have been filmed on my iPhone by me in the office because you want to get them while they're at a high because they're coming in
Uh,
to see you. They're feeling good. You want to get them in the office in front of you because if you tell them, do a testimonial for me when you get home and email to us, it will never happen.
yeah,
Get it in.
that's so right. We had this patient yesterday, and she was we helped her out, and she's so happy with her results that she was hugging me. She was hugging this. She's hugging, and I go, oh, I forgot to ask for a testimonial. I got it. I remembered on the way back home, and she would be more than willing to do it. But yeah, you're so right. I have to remember that myself.
Yeah, you gotta get it when they're on a dopamine high in your
Yeah.
office, when they're feeling good, because that's when they are most willing to do a testimonial for you. And that's when you want to catch them at that dopamine high level. And also that way you get it done right then and there instead of waiting for the patient to tell. Because any patient that tells you, "Oh, I'll send it to you," you won't get it. So like I said, all my testimonial was done in my office, and it takes like 2 minutes as well. So that is the tip: get it done in the office right away, and you film it right in the exam room. So that is big. Testimonials are big. And then the strategy, let's go into strategy to build your influence. It's again video, YouTube, create trust, right? Because I would tell you, I mean, I built my whole entire ED business on YouTube, and no ad, no paid ad, just on YouTube, producing content for the last 4 years and attracting premium patient and building my brand and building our 17 sources of income aside from seeing patient in the clinic. I think we're now up to 19 or 18 now, depending on the season at this point. So video content and then podcast. Mike, you want to speak about podcast? Because I know you had Bootstrap MD podcast, and I listened. That's how I found out about Mike during COVID. I was going for long walks in our neighborhood, and I happened to stumble on my podcast, an Apple podcast, and how I started learning about entrepreneurships, and really stimulated my mind about it as well. You want to talk about how to start the podcast?
Yeah, so Bootstrap MD is my podcast. You can go to bootstrapmd.com and listen to previous podcasts. We've done 311, 312 episodes over the scope of the last several years. And for me, it was the easiest thing to get out content. I said, I need to get out content. I think, Ann, you told me you started by just doing 2 videos a week or something like that. I said, okay, if I can do one podcast every 2 weeks, and then I realized I need to step it up. If I can do one podcast a week, I can talk for 20 to 30 minutes. And that allowed me to get exposure just going out doing my little thing. It didn't cost me any money and for very little money to do that. And I could talk, and it allowed me to approach having guests to people that I wanted to reach. And then people wanted to be on my podcast. Another stream of income for myself. I do advertising. I promote my own courses from time to time. But I enjoy it. Do I enjoy it every single week? No, sometimes I don't. But I said, the easiest thing for me to get content for myself, it wasn't through writing, it was through the spoken word. And that's
Right.
allowed me to get exposure for my consulting engagements. And I recently was at a conference, and they would say, "Hey, I've heard your voice on my treadmill, or I've been driving in the car," and so I appreciate it. And yeah, it's allowed me to get through that transparency and that trust.
Right. I think we're going to do another podcast. Well, this is our YouTube channel, but we also use the audio for podcasts as well too. I think we should do a video diving on how doctors can launch a podcast in more detail. So the thing is podcast, YouTube, okay? Podcast, YouTube, and then when you're talking about the topic, make sure that you're touching upon what we call SEO, search engine optimization keywords, like the keywords the problem that you're solving, like back pain or knee pain. Make sure that you're using appropriate keywords that is appropriate to your niche. And you can easily search for that now on ChatGPT. Right? Before ChatGPT, I had to go to an app called Keyword Everywhere to search for keywords that people were searching for, and have to manually pull it out myself to get those content. But now you can get it through AI. And we talked about getting reviews. I can't stress enough to you, Doc, whether you want to go on social media, get patient testimonials and reviews, because the more reviews you have on Google, the more Google will see you as valuable, and they will push you up the ranking, push you up on the search. Because there's a saying, if you're on page 2 of Google search, you're invisible. You got to be at least on page 1. So, Doc, I want you to do this. Go to incognito mode on your browser. Go to incognito and type in what you do, and then your city and your state, and check to see if your name comes up on that first page, right? So if your name comes up, good job. If your name is not coming up, you have work to do. Because you're on the second page, nobody scroll past the second page. I don't know about you, Mike, but I don't. If I search for something, I look for where it appear. I don't look at the sponsor. I don't look at the ad stuff, but I look where it appear, and I also look for reviews, because now patient and people searching on the internet are looking at reviews. And so now that we're talking about reviews, so as doctor, sometimes we can't have everyone that is satisfied with the care, right? And so you have good reviews. Of course, you ask for the people that has a good positive experience to give you a review. But if you had a bad review, well, you can actually respond to that in a HIPAA compliant way that will not that doesn't so much addresses the person that give you the bad review, is address the people that will read the review. It's for the viewers. If you copy what the bad review is, you put it to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to respond to it in a HIPAA compliant way that shows that you care about patient satisfaction, that you deliver the highest quality of care. It will give you a blurb that you can put as a reply, because oftentimes if you reply and you show that you care and that you want to make it right, then that's what the reader see pertinent as well. I mean, I myself had bad review, and we know that being what we do, sometimes we can't fix everything, right? And we're the one to blame. Thing doesn't go right, even though it's out of our control, right? It's like asking primary care doctor to be responsible for somebody hemoglobin A1C. Well, you can't control what they eat. You can't control whether they exercise or not. So you can't be responsible for that, but that's something you can respond to. So what, do you have any input on responding to reviews or bad reviews?
I actually ran a reputation management company, and if you don't post things about your own reputation, the internet will post things for you. So if you have a lot of negative reviews, that's what people are going to think about you. So it is important for you to start facilitating and getting reviews, and at least get the whole picture on it. So that is always working on getting testimonials, encouraging 5-star reviews as much as you can. If you don't, the internet will decide for you. And you can control what you can control. You can't take down a bad review, but if you can give them the fuller picture, is on your best interest to accumulate as many reviews as you can.
Absolutely. So, based on that note, if you have a chance to do speaking engagement, the better. And also, if you speak anywhere, whether it's a community event or even in your office or even to your patient, make sure you video and take some pictures. I always have some type proof that where I'm at, because that builds credibility, that builds authority. So if you're speaking even in your office to a few of your patients, have a picture of it and shows that you're speaking, or a community event or something, and then you put that on on your website. So on your website there should be a tab that says media, and you put that on your website to show that you do speaking event. You'll be amazed how that will build credibility as well. So think of yourself as not only a doctor, but you're also a teacher. So every post, every video, everything that you do should really answer the question, what problem you solve and how can you help with that problem? And that's how you build trust and influence and personal branding online. And Mike and I have been doing this. I have really concentrated on growing my brand as a sexual medicine specialist in 2021. And now I'm starting to see it kind of, it's all additive. It's not going to be like quick. I can see the accumulation and how the ROI is paying off now, especially with branding and brand deals that we're doing now as well. So, doctor, if you're in the office, you're working, think about building your personal brand, because that's how you're going to attract more premium patients. Create your presence online so you can build an online presence and even start monetizing or start making money online as well. And that's what we're here for. We are passionate in showing you what's possible. There are more ways to make money than in the office, doctor. You can make money now leveraging and using your medical expertise online and helping people. They're not your patient, just educating and helping people. And we help that we will be the resource for you for that. So check out our Doctors Online Success. It's in the Skool app, and you can join that. It's free for now, but it will be charged soon. You go to doctors with an S, onlinesuccess.com to join. And there, we actually, Mike, we have a lot of resources in there that free for you to join and how to build a brand. And we have some courses in there as well. And Mike and I will be in there doing coaching as well too. So we want to be a resource for you guys, and do subscribe and set notification and share this with other doctors that you feel can really benefit from our channel information as well. And just remember, you are not just a doctor, you are a doctor boss.